And if I didn't talk about your film franchise, maybe it's because I don't like any of them, like the Leprechaun franchise. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! The Perverts Have Spoken! So tonight, I am doing a video that I wasn't expecting to be doing, but inspiration comes in many strange shapes and forms, and while I was at my local retailer looking at the Halloween movie selection, because you never know what you're gonna find, I saw this movie here called Die Die Delta Pi, and it was $4.99, and I thought, wow, it looks like an old 80s slasher horror flick set in a sorority. And now, of course, you know that I like the show Scream Queens, and I thought, hey, you know what? I kind of feel in the mood for a good old-fashioned sorority slasher. So I come home, and then I realize something, that on the back, it says 2014. So I'm going, wait a second, this isn't an 80s slasher. So I went on the old IMDb's and discovered that this movie is a low-budget independent flick that was made for $7,000 in 2014 bucks. I mean, that would be like making it for $1.50 back in the 80s. So, but they actually have some decent gore effects and a nice, funny head decapitation scene that just really, the ending kind of makes everything before kind of worth it. But basically what this movie is an homage, a love letter, maybe even a little bit of a satire, kind of like Scream Queens, of the old slasher flicks. So back in the 1980s at Delta Pi, they have this bonfire, and during this bonfire they initiate the new blood. Unfortunately, at this bonfire, someone decided to prank one of the girls with silly string, and silly string and fire equals not a good time, so the one girl is burned beyond all recognition. And immediately after, someone starts killing everyone. Yeah! And we find out that it's the house mother who feels disrespected by the other girls, and because of that, she wants to take revenge. And honestly, I don't know if this is just a oversight in the plot or whatever, but she's able to teleport herself almost instantaneously from the bonfire area to the house, so that she could kill everyone before someone surviving the bonfire massacre who was running straight for the house, and then find everyone dead and her there already to basically kill him. Yeah, it's really strange. But then again, low budget, continuity, whatever. I mean, you can really tell this is real low budget. It looks like it's filmed on something similar to what I'm filming on. And the sound, they don't do a lot of noise reduction. They don't cut out the background wind and stuff. I mean, they do an okay job. You can actually hear the dialogue. I don't know if they overdubbed it. It didn't seem like they did, but they could have. And the acting, oh my god, the acting ranges from super piss poor to actually kind of good. There's like this scene in the university where the professor is talking with one of the students, and their little awkward back and forth was actually quite good in my opinion. So kudos to them. But so anyways, fast forward to the future. They're trying to reopen the Delta Pi sorority house, and of course that brings back the killers that we all thought were dead, but they're not. I mean, they didn't really do a good job like hiding the fact that it's like the same people. And you would just have like just these weird little, I guess, shout outs to the old 80s horror movies, the insane survivor, just like, we shouldn't reopen it, you shouldn't reopen it, and of course she, and the older survivors, being all like, oh, hey, you know, we've been out of touch for so long. What's happening? You know, oh. But in the end, it's real basic. The plot kind of a little bit. But honestly, the gore effects, not too bad. I mean, they don't show too much stuff, but they do show a lot of the aftermath. And like I said, the head decapitation scene is pretty cool. They have this scene where the guy gets shot in the chest and it kind of gives him like a nice hole in his chest there. So, you know, kudos for that, even though the gunfire was kind of like CG, barrel flash, things like that. But honestly, it's one of those movies that it's bad, but you still can enjoy it because the acting is just so, oh wow, really, and the characters are kind of off, you know, off a little bit. They're, I guess you would say stereotypical, but at least a little bit more subtle in the stereotyping, except for some of them. I mean, it is kind of all over the place, because sometimes you think it's overly ridiculous, and sometimes you think it's a little bit dead on. So yeah, it is a little confusing in that aspect. And of course, you know, it is kind of slow at parts. It's hard to make atmosphere because they can't really do too much with lighting. However, what happens in there is funny and enjoyable, and of course, to make up for any other imperfections in this movie, they do jam in a bunch of nudity. So hey, I always appreciate some nudity, and the perverts have spoken, so you all know you guys will appreciate that too. So in the end, it's not bad. I mean, it's really in that cheesy slasher genre. I don't know if a lot of it's done purposefully or just the result of having a low budget, not getting, you know, the best effects, the best camera work, the best editing, and the best everything else, or even good or competent. But, you know, it's definitely worth the $5. I was entertained while watching it. I might actually watch it again, drunk. I don't condone drinking in excess, people, but anyways. So there you have it, Delta Pi. I don't know if I'm gonna give it like, you know, regular review scores, because honestly, plot would be a 1, acting would be like a 1, shock value would be like a 1 or 0. I mean, blood and gore, probably give it like a 2.5-ish. Nudity, of course, is up there, but you know, it's just so hard to quantify because you know it's a bad movie. And you know it's not good, but yeah, it's still enjoyable and entertaining. And in the end, yeah, I kind of dig it. It's not like an everyday thing. It's not going to be up there in the echelons, but it's going to be one of those things like, I guess you could consider maybe a guilty little pleasure here or there, like a snack. But in the end, that's it, Delta Pi. I thought I would just talk about it because, yeah, you know, it was just there. It was spur of the moment, and so was this review. So until next time, everyone, you guys stay scary, internet.